Okay, boom. Happy Friday. LT is in the building. Thank you so much for being here. There's a couple of norms and expectations for these Friday night webinars. We do this every Friday night at 6 p.m. for people who are interested in learning about self-publishing. This is a miraculous group. It is a divine group because it is people who are serious. These are not folks that like to hang out in the club. Ain't nothing wrong with hanging out in the club, but we are under COVID-19, and there's a lot of people out there that are trying to make a transformation in their lives. So I appreciate you guys being here. Know that you are in the presence of people who are doing some things, and you're going to hear from some of us tonight. You're going to hear from a guy named Micheal. He's an amazing person. He's going to tell you about his self-publishing journey. So I'm going to hurry up and get through my slides so I can hear what he has to say, because I'm a teacher, but more than that, I'm a learner. So I love to hear what other people have to teach. So number one, please go ahead and mute yourself. I'd still hear some sound in the background, and this is being recorded. So go ahead and turn off your microphone. Turn off your camera until the very end when we have our photo op. We are recording the entire webinar, including the Q&A. Please type all your questions in the chat. You will be able to do an elevator speech. Those of you that are entrepreneurs, I do like to give an opportunity for you to promote yourself. You should be promoting yourself 24 hours a day, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's a group photo at the end if you approve, and if you do not wish to take a picture, please exit right after the Q&A. I'm all about social media. I'm all about promotion. So everything I do, it's documented. I live out loud. I'm not ashamed of what I do. I'm very excited. So you will always see me posting anytime I'm doing something amazing, positive, and this is something that I love to do. So let's get started. Boom. All right, so we're going to do an overview of tonight's topic, which is all about the money ain't a damn thing funny. I'm LT, the buddy teacher, also known as Latasha Jimerson. Our special guest is Micheal Benjamin. I can't wait to hear what he has to say. The topic is, how much money do authors really make? And then we're going to teach you guys 3 secrets to make more sales for your books. There's a person on YouTube. His name is John Hogue. And I have a link to the video in here. If you guys are interested, I'll share it with you. But basically what I do is I break down the main points from his video. I'm not going to show you his video because it's kind of long, but I'm just going to give you the nuggets and the takeaways from his video, because he's actually doing a lot of sales every single month with his books. So then after that, we will do an elevator speech, opportunity to network. If you have an elevator speech that you practice on a regular, be ready, because I am going to give you an opportunity, but I'm not going to put you on the spot. So you volunteer. When the time comes, let's step up. There's a Q&A. We'll do the Q&A after the elevator speech, and then we're going to call it a night, because I know it is Friday. Some of y'all got dates to go on, and I really appreciate your time. So thank you so much. Boom. Questions, please put questions in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and see if there's any questions right now before I get started. All right, so Stephanie says camera on. You can go ahead and turn your camera off for now, but put it on when it's time to do our photo op. Yes, yes, yes. Dolores said, I taught you. Yes, yes. It's all about the money. Ain't a damn thing funny, Dolores. We know that. Coach Max says, yes, Johnny Kemp just got paid. Stephanie says, I can remember the song. I can only remember the song, not the artist. Okay. You got to Google that, look it up on YouTube. You guys got to listen to that every Friday night, because since I've been singing that song, I've been getting more money. I don't know what it is, but it's just one of those things. You throw it in the universe and things just start happening. All right. So this is our Friday night webinar series. We do this every Friday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, East Coast family. I appreciate you guys being up late with me. This is going to be amazing. This is 2 authors and course creators, and we are teaching you how to make money from your books. Yes, this is the LT and the Micheal B show. I met Micheal B a couple of months ago because we were taking a course from scratch, course by Danielle Leslie. And we started emailing and going back and forth on social media. And then very quickly, I realized that this is somebody that I need to have in my success circle, and we need to be on the phone. So now we do once a week accountability sessions on the phone, on Zoom, on texting. I read something that said you should spend 80% of your time with the people that make the most difference in your life. And unfortunately, a lot of us spend 20% of our time with people who are really influential. We need to flip that. We need to spend most of our time and energy with people who inspire us, people who light our fire, help us get that passion and keep us motivated. So tonight, you guys are in the building with two people, myself and Michael B., who are going to teach you some important information. So please go get a piece of paper, go get a pen or pencil, get your phone out, take a picture of these slides. If you want me to email them to you, I will, but I really want you to get this information into your soul, into your spirit, into your mind, into your heart, because once you start transforming your mind, then your pocketbook takes off, all right? Once you start transforming your mind, you no longer have to worry about how you're going to get money, because the creativity that's between your ears is going to make room for you. Your gift will make room for you. All right. So on that note, we go into the next slide. Boom. So who is LT? LT, Latasha LT Jimerson, AKA the Buddy Teacher. I'm an author, book coach, course creator. Some of you have been to my website, some of you have not. It is www.ltthebuddyteacher.com. You can see everything that I have created. Hopefully you guys are getting my emails. They might be annoying, but that's okay, because I'm all about promoting 24 hours a day, because I have services that are helpful to people, and the people that are in my courses are transforming their lives. And some of them are here. You will be able to hear from them tonight. Some of them are a little bit more shy, so they'll be putting stuff in the chat. That's okay. All right, so what does LT do? LTCES, that is my company, LT's Coaching and Educational Services. And what I do is I provide coaching and ongoing support to new authors who are learning how to self-publish and learning how to sell their books. And not only that, but I'm also teaching them how to turn these books into products, meaning ebook, paperback, audio, as well as how do you turn your book into a course. So that is the reason why I do weekly webinars, because there's no way you can get all this information on one session. So the people that are in my course actually are with me 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then we have our 1-hour coaching calls. So literally some of these people are with me 4 days a week, and they are moving and shaking, and they are doing what they got to do, and I'm so proud. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the money. It's all about the money, ain't a damn thing funny. So this is my account. I only deal with Amazon right now. All 5 of my books are on Amazon. So you can see at the top, it says sales period, says marketplace, payment status, date, payment method, net earnings, payout amount. So you can see June 1st to June 30, 2020, that was the last payment that I got, but the first payment was August 1st through August 31st. So that was the 30-day period that my book went up for sale. That's when I first put my first book out. And you can see my first payday was September 29, 2017, right? So it's about 30 days out, maybe 45 days out, depending on what's happening. You can see the net earnings in US dollars was $33.90. And you can see the amount of money that went into my bank account was $33.90. Okay. If you go up from the bottom, September 1st, 2017 to September 30, 2017, that was the second month that I made sales. And you can see the actual payday was October 29th. EFT, which is the electronic funds transfer, US dollars, $13.56 is what went into my bank account. Okay, and then if you just go up, all the way up to June, you can see all of the payments that went into my bank account from my books from 2017 to 2020. So now I'm at the point where I have 5 books, but I started with just one. And so a part of my courses, I always tell people, finish that first course or the first book, because that first book is going to turn into 3 products. Once you get that paperback, you're going to be able to do your ebook, and then you're going to be able to do your audiobook. So then you're going to have 3 separate products. See, I didn't learn that until like last year, that I needed to have multiple streams of income. So when I just put out a book, I just put it out and said, okay, let's see what happens. I didn't know anything about marketing, nothing about target audience, nothing about sales. I just said, let me just try this and see what happens. So this is the amount of money that I made, not knowing anything, just putting my book out into the universe and praying to God that somebody would buy it. Okay, so these are my Amazon sales. So you can see for the year 2020, look at how much I've made, 71 cents. In the year 2019, $12. 2018, $8. And 2017, $98.26. For a grand total of $118.97. That's what I have made off of my books that are on Amazon. Again, don't know nothing about target market. Okay, don't know nothing about anything, sales. I'm just throwing it out there, hoping somebody's gonna buy my book. So that's what I have made from Amazon sales. All right, so what does LT do to sell her books? Okay, so over on the left is my first book, Secrets from My Closet, Unveiling the Past to Heal in the Future. That was my first book. I put that out in 2017, just hoping somebody would buy it. People bought it. They called me. They liked it. They asked me, when are you going to write your second book? So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I have some kind of ability. So I'm going to go ahead and write my second book. Well, at that time, I was going through situations with my 18-year-old daughter, because she was feeling some type of way, thinking she was grown, but still up in my house. So I went ahead and put together the discussions that her and I were having about some difficult topics: sex, drug, rock and roll, boundaries, relationships. I just put it all in the book, and I said, you know what? Somebody else is going to be able to benefit from the trouble that I'm having, which was normal rebellious activity from an 18-year-old. So I put it in the book. I called it Sorry Boo, Mommy Lied. Now that you're 18, you can handle the truth. So I had her edit that book. It was a pretty fun process. I asked her during the whole process, am I accurate? Am I telling you what the deal is? Like, is this really what's going on? So she was like, yeah, this is what's going on. You were pretty accurate in the book. Okay, so it was kind of like a collaboration. Matter of fact, her name is in the book as editor, so that in the future, she can collect some royalties for her and her children. So my thinking with my second book shifted from, okay, I just hope somebody buys this, to, wait a minute, I'm getting royalties. These are monies that are going to transfer into generational wealth. Okay, so that's my second book. So then I shifted my mindset again, and I started asking people, well, what is it that you need to know? What is it that you need to learn? And over again, people were saying self-care, 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 managing stress, how to get over anxiety. So I wrote the book, Mom's Book on Common Sense, How to Take Care of Yourself When You Are Overwhelmed. That book is on my website, and it is only available on my website. And I'll tell you why in a second. So that was my third book. My fourth book was Daily Bread for Teachers, 101 Ways to Get Swag into Your Classroom. That was a fun book. And then my fifth book, 185 Honeymoon Tips for Teachers, A Guide to Planning for the Big Day, written by Latasha Jimerson. Okay, so that's my fifth book. And then I couldn't stop writing. So at the beginning of the summer, this summer, I was like, let me write a book about procrastination, because I see a lot of people procrastinating out here. They have goals and dreams, and they have things that they want to do, but for some reason they ain't doing it. So I wrote this book in like 4 hours. It's called Wasted: Stop Procrastinating and Get Stuff Done by Latasha Jimerson. That one is also available on my website only. It's not available on Amazon. And I'll tell you why in a second. There's a reason. All right, so how do I sell my books? My favorite way, there's me cheesing with my little name tag on and my business cards, and see my glasses right there, because I always like to take pictures without my glasses, even though I can't see, but I'm just much cuter that way. I have my honeymoon books there. That was the old cover. I created a new cover using Canva, but this picture was taken in March of this year, March of 2020, before the whole crazy pandemic, the schools closing, all of that nonsense happened. I was actually starting to see my dream. I've been dreaming about this thing for 5 years, being able to be a public speaker and a well-known author and a course creator and an influencer and a YouTuber. I've been planning this thing and dreaming about it since 2015. And so for me to be able to get to that conference was super amazing. And I was able to get that vendor booth and set everything up and sell some books. So that is one of the ways that I push my books, is by going to teacher conferences, which is actually my favorite thing to do, because there's a lot of teachers out there that do support other teachers, and I really appreciate that. And I've run into administrators and counselors and students and parents, and when they see a teacher that's really out there hustling, like really getting their grind on, like people are like, oh, I respect that. So I tried to sell those books for $15, but people started giving me 20. So I was like, okay, well, these books are now $20. And I don't know if you guys deal with this, but sometimes when I'm thinking about myself as an entrepreneur, which is kind of new since 2015, I kind of undervalue myself. In the chat, tell me if you guys have undervalued yourself. Like I know that I do a lot of things that are really well, but then when it comes to putting a price on my success and putting a price on my products, I struggle with that. And so some of the things that I've been working on is really self-esteem and collecting testimonials, collecting reviews, because when I collect reviews and I collect testimonials, those are reminders that, you know what, I am making a difference in the world. You know what, I am doing something that's important. This is knowledge that other people need. Because sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but that positive self-talk, sometimes it gets drowned out by the negative self-talk. You know, the things that happened when you were younger that I wrote about in my first book, the abuse, the depression, the anxiety, the panic attacks, all that stuff kind of creeps up, and it says, well, you really ain't that great. I don't know what you think you're doing, but you really ain't that special. So when I get testimonials and I get reviews and I get support and I get people cheering me on, I look at that every single day and I read those testimonials. I look at that on my website and it keeps me going. So let me see, does anybody else deal with that undervaluing yourself, that low self-esteem stuff? Like, that's real. You deserve more. Absolutely. You don't want rejections. Brenda always told me that I'm getting paid what I'm worth musically. Definitely struggle with valuing my time and my price. Yes, it's like, that's one of the things. I don't know if it's specific to, I don't think it's specific to African Americans. I think it's everybody, just human beings. Like, we don't really look at the things that we do as special and amazing. And so we need to start flipping that mindset. And that's why doing these kinds of collaborations with people who are on fire is so important, because you need to get with the people who light your fire, get with the people who are going to push you, challenge you, support you, and cheer you on. You know, that's what you really, really got to do. That's why this is so important. All right, so then I had a launch party at my house. And to be honest with you, I really don't know how much money I made, but I will tell you guys that the room was filled with people. Like, I had no seats left. No seats left. It was standing room only. People came from everywhere to hear what I had to say about this first book, and they were curious. I hadn't really been on Facebook, so they were really like, where have you been? What's going on? You wrote a book? What's that about? So that book signing was amazing. And I did a little estimate for how much money I made, but I really honestly don't know, you guys. And then I started just going out to Starbucks. In the top left-hand corner is me and my friend Pam. She works for the same school district that I work for. She told me she wants to write a book about her life. transitioning from Vietnam or Cambodia. I think she's from Cambodia. She wants to write a book, so I'm going to be helping her with her book. That was in 2018, I think. We just met at Starbucks. She got me on Facebook and she was like, I need to get a copy of your book. I was like, meet me over here at Starbucks. I'll be there at such and such time. I got my bag. I'm filling it up with my books. Y'all, I'm a hustler. When it comes to my books, I'm selling them. When it comes, I don't wait for people. I don't wait for Amazon. I don't wait for KDP, Kindle. Like, I'm out there selling my books like whatever. I don't even care, because I know it's changing people's lives and it's making transformational differences in people's lives. And their whole families are about to change because of what they're reading in my book. So when it comes to my books, I'm not shy about it. I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm selling them. In the middle is one of the ladies. She's actually a coordinator, top middle. She's a coordinator at the elementary school that my youngest daughter went to. Her and I connected immediately. I told her about my book. She was like, let me buy it. I need it. I was like, okay, I got you. Went up to the elementary school. You can see the little gate in the back. Took a picture, was like, look, I'm promoting myself on social media. Would you mind taking a picture with me? She was like, nope, let's do it. The guy in the middle, that's Lawrence Christie. He's a retired teacher. I actually took over his classroom, and I didn't know that it was his classroom because he had cancer, he had surgery, he left. So I never met Mr. Christie until 2018 when he retired after his surgery. And I found out that I was in his classroom because we are kindred spirits. And my students would tell me, you need to meet Mr. Christie. Mr. Christie is such an amazing history teacher, just like you, Mr. Emerson. And I was like, who is Mr. Christie? Lo and behold, I went on Facebook. He saw me with my book and he was like, I need help. I want to write a book. So I was like, okay, let's go to Starbucks. Let's do this. So lo and behold, he's on his third book. The other ladies in the pictures, top right-hand corner, that's Brianna and Tanya. That's at my brand new house that I just moved into a year and a half ago. They came to celebrate with me. And then there's Melissa with her daughter, Selena, and they are celebrating with me the fact that I got my new house, which was something on my bucket list, and the fact that I had, I think I had published my 5th book by then. But anyways, I love parties at my house, especially parties that are making money for me. It pays to party. Library events. I've done at least 3, 4, 5 library events. I don't remember how many, but honestly, guys, I don't know how many books I sold because I just was out there hustling and just accepting the money, and I don't really know. I didn't keep track until I, sat down now during the pandemic, like, wait a minute, let me keep track because maybe I can help somebody. So that's me at the library. My books are available in the Moreno Valley Library, which is very exciting for me because Moreno Valley is the community that I teach in. So my students and their parents go to that library and they see me when I'm doing my events. And they cheer me on, they give me my inspiration and my excitement. And I'm just very, very proud and honored to be a local author. That's what they call you when you go into the library. I don't know if you guys have done this, but go into your local library, let them know you're a local author and that you would appreciate their support, and they will roll out the red carpet for you. Because first of all, who does that? Like, who writes a book and then writes another book and then another book? Like, they're excited to meet you because most people have books in their minds, but they never actually get it done. And so when you go into a library and you say, I'm an author and I have books and I'm gonna give you guys some for free, they're all ears. They're like, okay, what's up? So I've been to the library. I've had books on my job. I've given them away for free. I've sold a couple, given a couple away. I sell them out of the trunk of my car, no joke. This is Tamala Miles on the left. If you guys are in my Facebook group, she is the author of a whole bunch of paranormal romance books. And you can see her books on that back table. This is an author's event where I met her. And the guy in the middle, what's his name? I forget his name. I know his last name is Lee. But anyways, he is I call him a wannabe author because he always talks about how he's going to write a book. He's going to write a book. He's an amazing person. He works for the Moreno Valley Library, and he hosts the author events. He's always around the events, but he hasn't written his book yet. So I'm always texting him and bugging him. But anyway, we're on social media together. This is okay, so this, I told y'all there's only certain books that are available on Amazon, and there's other books that are only available on my website. Because look, I'm making a lot more money on my website than I am on Amazon, to be real with you guys, because I am a Rambo gorilla when it comes to marketing. And so what I do is I call people directly and I say, hey, I just wrote this book, go to my website and get it. Matter of fact, here's the website. I'm sending you the link right now. Let's do it. Because I know the people who are procrastinators. So that's my target audience. So I have no shame with getting them on the phone and saying, look, I just created a resource for you. It's only $5. You need to get it now. Let's go. So I did that on a Saturday morning. I called about 55 people. And within an hour, I made $178 off of this one digital download book, ebook, which talks about procrastination. So this is the reason why I don't wait around for Amazon to sell my books. They do okay, but I don't wait because I'm impatient. So I'm just like that. Okay, so these are my personal sales. So in 2017, my estimated was about 50 books at $15 each. So I made about $750. In 2018, I sold about 20 books at $15 each. So that was about $300. In 2019, I said, you know what? I need to bring my prices up because people want to pay me 20. So I was like, all right, I sold about 10 books, $20, $200. 2020, about 10 books, $20, $200. 2020 digital download, which was that ebook that I showed you, $178. So I would say over the past 4 years, with me selling my books, with my launch party, my library events, I probably made about $1,628. So I don't know about y'all, but to me, on top of a teacher salary, like that's my Starbucks money. So I always sing, I'm getting Starbucks money. But now I've moved on, guys, and I'm now working on getting mortgage money. I don't know about y'all, but I want money for the mortgage. I want money for the cars. I want money for everything because I'm a girl that has expensive tastes. Okay, so these are the benefits of your book. So 2020, my book sales were about 378. But what you guys can look forward to, because I have so much knowledge now, I can help you do so much more than what I have done. And the authors that are in my course will do way more than what I've done because I have the expertise now to actually push. And I know what areas to focus on. So I want you guys to think about using your book as your business card. You're going to get more followers on your social media. I want you to use your book as your resume. I've gotten 2 promotions at work. Just because I had a book out and people were impressed. I want you to think about your book as your audio tape. I've been on the radio getting interviewed. I want you guys to think about your book as your podcast content. I want you to think about when you're done with your book or when you're in the midst of your book, I want you to use it as your YouTube content. Because if you guys use your book and you're pushing your first book, people are going to be really excited to support you and you're going to make a lot more money than what I did. All right, I want you to look at, if you're a teacher, like I'm a teacher, and you know teachers, you work at different schools, I want you to look at your book as a staff development item, and I want you to look at it as a speaking engagement supplement. Okay, so like right now, I'm gonna say you're probably not gonna make any money right now because we're under this pandemic, but who knows, you might be invited to some virtual events, so that dollar amount could go up. Right now for my coaching services, I'm earning about $150 per hour. With my online courses, I offer courses with coaching and without. In the month of July, I made $2,800. In the month of August, I made $1,200. September, $1,200. October, my projected amount that I'm just going to put out into the universe right now, 10 clients at $1,200 each will be $12,000. That is my projection for the month of October. Because again, my courses are getting better and better and better, and I'm enrolling every first of every single month. So it's just getting gooder and gooder. All right. So in April, I took a course from scratch. It's literally called Course from Scratch by Danielle Leslie. So I signed up for that course because I wanted to learn how to turn my books into a course. So I did that. In May, I started coaching, and I was supposed to launch a course, but that failed because I got distracted. But in June, I started getting butts and seats for July 1st. And so July, I got 4 people in July, 1 in August, 1 in September. And so, and I'm coaching 1 person on the side. So right now, I currently have 6 authors who are writing legacy books, which means books for their grandchildren, books for their children, books that are going to create generational wealth, books that are going to make their families proud, and just books that are going to help them heal from whatever it is that they're going through, honestly. So July, August, September combined will be about $5,200 from my courses. Okay, so coming soon, A to Z with LT, self-publishing ideas for new authors. I'm launching a podcast in January 2021. I don't know what the title of the podcast is going to be, so maybe you guys can help me in the chat. I'm kind of thinking Daily Bread for Tired Teachers, Daily Bread for Tired People, Daily Bread for Tired Leaders. I don't know. All I know is folks just be tired. Folks be tired. They be stressed. They be depressed. They need some stuff that's going to help them. And so that is what my content is about. Stuff that's going to help you get out of the gutter and get yourself back into the greatness that you were meant to be. So that's what my content is. You guys can help me with the title. I'm going to decide that over the next couple months. Boom, this is one of my authors. He says, Latasha helped me get started with my book, and every month I have sold at least 5 copies. Great coach. This is my pastor, Dr. Terrence Meekins. He couldn't be here tonight, but he will be here next Friday night. Friday night, just got paid. He actually shares with me every single month. He shares with me the number of books and how much money he made, just so that I can be like, yay, show me the money. So the month of July, he made $142.87 on Amazon. And from January to August, he made $725.34 on his books. And he solely promotes his books on Amazon. I don't know if he does any self-promotion out of his house or out of his car or anything, but he has a church and it's at his house. And right now we're doing virtual church. So if you guys need a church, let me know. All right, so without further ado, I'm about to turn my microphone off because I cannot wait to hear from Michael B. You're up, Michael B.
All righty, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Let me know if y'all awake. Let me get an I am blessed in the chat. Let me know how y'all feeling. First of all, I just want to thank Latasha for inviting me because, you know, she didn't have to do that. And I mean, she just killed it right now. So I hope y'all took a lot of notes and I hope that y'all are really feeling good. Okay, I got an I am blessed. I like that. I like the I am blessed. Okay, perfect. So my name is Michael Benjamin. I'm a God-first human who enjoys providing value. So wherever I go, I try to provide value. And it's a Friday night. Some of y'all might be on the East Coast. Some of y'all might be on Pacific. The fact that y'all are here means that you're serious about getting to the next level. So I want to really thank y'all for coming on this. So, and also shout out to the Rewatch gang as well. So, you know, that's definitely a blessing. So wherever I go, I try to provide value. So hopefully I can provide value for y'all today. And I consider myself a storyteller. When I say that I'm a storyteller, I'm not just talking about writing, but because I feel like there's storytelling in everything. Writing is literally in everything. So even before I was even published, I could just look at 2 people interacting and just kind of think about a story in that sense. So that's what I mean by I'm a storyteller. Everyone has their own unique stories. You could hop on a plane and watch 2 people interact with each other. There's a story behind that, right? So I just look as myself as someone that paints the picture of what's going on and tell the story. So I'm the CEO of Golden One Dream. If you see the acronym right there, it's God. So I put God first, and basically it's my LLC that I use to hold all my businesses, and not just my coaching services, but I do speaking services, I do financial services, and basically the whole all are tonight. The fact that you guys are here, the fact that you guys are considered the 1%, because 99% of people could have registered for this, but you guys are the 1% that's actually on here. So I really appreciate y'all for coming on. I'm the author of The Power of Yet, as you can see right there. That's my book. It's The Power of Yet. It's basically a fiction personal development book. It's about a young girl named Nia Akintoye. Basically, she struggles with public speaking, and she literally passes out from trying to do public speaking. And basically, the whole theme is that she's going from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. If you guys know a fixed mindset, growth mindset, that's a very popular topic in schools. So I made it intentional so that I was able to sell that point when I'm talking to schools. So she goes along that journey, and also she's overcoming her financial mindset. So she's trying to have a good mindset in terms of debt, because I paid off my student loans relatively quickly, like back when I graduated, and I just wanted to include a financial mindset, thanks Latasha, for people to be able to have the same mindset as me. I'm also a chemical engineer, so that's what I went to school for. I'm a certified DISC coach. If you know what the DISC assessment is, it's basically a personality test. It doesn't say who you are, it just says how you're operating at a certain point in time. So there's different personalities, and I tied a DISC assessment to basically money management and managing finances. So that's what a lot of my clients come to me for. And then on top of it, I'm a financial coach. So that's where the DISC and finances come into play. So
You ready?
Oh, you got control. Next slide, please. All right, so
Ready? Tell me if you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I thought I had control for some reason.
Sorry.
Nah, you good. All right, so what do I do? So the primary thing I do is I help aspiring authors and entrepreneurs self-publish their book idea effectively. Effectively doesn't mean just publishing it, but it's through publishing it for long success and understanding that having a book is like legacy. So I focus on marketing your book for you to be able to sell a lot, because a lot of people come to me at first, they're just like, what if no one buys my book? What if I don't finish my book? So in my, well, not only my program, but just everything that I do, I really help people get to that next level. And my program, as you can see right here, the yellow picture is called BITE. And BITE stands for Book Idea to Execution. So I help you take your book idea to actually execute it. I have a framework. It's a 3-step framework, and I call it Believe, Plan, and Execute, BPE. So most people, the 99%, they believe and plan. You know what I'm saying? But then the people that actually execute are 1%. You literally executed. You're on the call. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that you're here means that you're an executor. So believe, plan, and execute is the 3-step process. BITE is a play on words because it's about applying pressure. Applying pressure left and right. I like to compare it to like a boxing match. You're in a boxing match, you know it's 12 rounds. You know your book is gonna get finished, but you might hit certain jabs that you don't know make sense in the moment, but it'll make sense later on. So I kind of walk people through different strategies and tips they can use to publish their book effectively. Some marketing things that I cover, it might seem outlandish, but sometimes you got to think out the box, you know? So one thing too, I've invested in a lot of different writing programs, and I realized that a lot of people weren't focusing too much on self-awareness. So that's why I include that self-awareness piece in terms of the DISC assessment. Because I think self-awareness and authenticity is really, really important. Because a lot of people, they're not really, a lot of people, they're not fully aware of who they are. One thing I like to say is, you don't know what you don't know. So you could literally Google for however long, right? Some people say, oh, I've been writing my book for years. And you could literally Google so much information, but the issue that comes with that is analysis paralysis. Because it's like, you could consume my information, you can consume Latasha's information, you can consume YouTube information. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're just not gonna execute. That's why I really like to focus on execute. As you can see with the BITE, book idea to execution, and then the extreme execution certified. I really love execution That's my whole motto and everything, because I feel like it's only a select few people that execute. And I feel like that's a superpower in itself. So that's what I do in terms of Byte. I also help debt-free seeking individuals understand their talents through the DISC assessment. Like I said, I'm a certified DISC coach. If any of y'all here on the call know Eric Thomas, motivational speaker, he certified me basically. So I'm in a group with coaches and we're just constantly reinventing. We have Zoom meetings, this, that, and the third. And hey, Michael, may I have your email? Okay, yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, I'll get my email. My email will be at the end, by the way. So yeah, so I help debt-free seeking individuals understand their talents through the DISC assessment. In extreme execution, we make a tie with the DISC assessment to what we call the flight assessment. So different roles on a plane. And basically within a 30-minute consultation, I can give people a lot of data based off of their personality style. And then they get like a 22-page ebook. So that's why the flight assessment is better than if you just Google DISC assessment. You can Google DISC assessment, you'll know a little bit about who you are, but it's better if you go through the flight assessment. Can we go to the next slide, please? All right, so what are my goods and services? So I always like to start with free. Like I said, I try to provide value as much as I can. I know it's COVID times, but yeah, so first of all, I have a writing Facebook community. I'm gonna go over that later in a little bit. As long as you got internet, you know, Facebook community is free and everybody's on here, so you got internet. So we have about 400 plus people on a Facebook community. I'll go a little bit more in depth when we get to that particular slide. So that's free. My program, again, Book Idea to Execution Byte. I recently started a podcast. That's the picture you see right here. Thank you. And that's a free resource. So the reason why I started the podcast was really because I found myself repeating myself a lot. So a lot of the clients I work with, they don't all know each other. So I would be coaching somebody, or I would be even just providing free information in my Instagram DMs or Facebook, just from personal messages. And then I was thinking, I was like, I keep repeating myself. And not that it's bad because I like providing the value, but I was like, how can I scale my information? And then I was on a particular call with one of my mentors. I call him my distant mentor because I haven't met him or anything. But his name is, he's Neil DeViso on Instagram, Nehemiah Davis. Basically, I was listening to his podcast and I was on a call with him basically. And he was talking about, if you want to be perceived as an expert, you got to do this, that, and the third. And I'm somebody that's talking about applying pressure here and there. So I was like, okay, maybe a podcast needs to be the next move. So as you are writing your book, as you're in the process of your book, even if you're not published right now, I didn't do this, but I would recommend create a podcast based off of your book. If you're writing about finances, you could start a whole podcast on that. Even if you're writing fiction, I mean, I think Latasha's audience is mainly nonfiction, but hypothetically, if you're writing fiction, you can literally create a podcast about your book because you could have vampires and you're the expert on those vampires, you know what I'm saying? So tell us about that. You can start a whole podcast. I have a Byte Book Idea to Execution webinar replay. So I do a Sunday webinar. I'm not doing it this particular Sunday because I have a different time commitment, but I believe I'll be doing it in 2 weeks. But I do have a replay, and in my webinar, it's very similar to what we're doing right now. It's just an hour long. I walk through different activities of how you can start and be effective. I walk through how I completed my book quick, how I marketed to essentially publish my book for free. And yeah, I walk through a couple things in there. And then the main thing is I have a workbook in there. So the workbook really helps you step by step, and it helps you to make sure you're not sleeping. Because I try to make sure that people aren't sleeping when I talk. Can y'all say something in the chat? I want to make sure y'all awake. I want to make sure y'all not sleeping. Let me know you're not sleeping. I also have a 20-step how to write a book checklist. So this is a convenient PDF. And it's just a small investment. Okay, someone's up. Anderson's up. That's good. I have okay, everyone's awake. So,
yeah, Stephanie said she's wide awake.
All right, good. I know it's 9 p.m. somewhere, so East Coast. So. All All right, perfect. So I got general authorship coaching services. That's a small investment as well. And then I have my book idea to execution online course, which is 5 modules. It literally walks you through everything from book idea to execution, as well as registering the LLC for tax purposes. And that's like my high ticket investment at this moment. So those are my services. Just understand that there are 3 free resources. So once you exhaust the free resources, then you can think about getting the high
That's
ticket.
what's up.
So I would definitely say exhaust the free resources. If y'all want the webinar replay, definitely email me. A lot of people have seen value in that. Go listen to the podcast. I'm dropping episodes. I need to drop episodes after we get off here as well. And then the Facebook community is good. The way it's, I'll cover it later on. Let's continue, please. All right, hold on. How do I sell my book? So this is a picture of my book right there. And I just want to say that writing a book is like creating a tree stump. What do I mean by that? Writing a book, once you publish it, that's literally the foundation, right? That's the foundation for so many different opportunities. A lot of people think like, oh, I'm just going to make money from the book. That's not necessary. You can make money from selling your book, but you want to leverage it for different opportunities, all these different tree branches. And I just want to let y'all know just ahead of time, Latasha is going to cover more things after I speak, but I may be saying some things that she's going to say, but I want y'all to understand. Again, it's like applying that pressure, consistency. So if you hear me say something that she's going to say or said already, then that lets you know that that's really something that you should be doing. So that's a cosign. So number 1 is ask. Literally ask. Asking people, okay, people, can you support me with my book or whatever? Literally asking. Some people are scared to take this approach, but this is literally how I got some of my sales. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. And then my main one that I really preach about in my program and coaching people is documentation of my own journey. So before I even got to publishing my book, I invested $2,000 in a mentor just because I understood that I'm trying to publish a book. I'm hearing information from so many people. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, some of these people are just speakers. They didn't even publish a book. So I'm like, why am I listening to people who aren't where I want to be? So then I was like, okay, let me actually talk to a published author. So I talked to a published author who became my mentor, and he helped me. And it goes back to that, you don't know what you don't know, right? So he exposed me to some things, saved me money and time. And ultimately I helped him too, because the documentation of the journey is what I was able to, I'm not saying that I created it, but I was able to create it on my own between the both of us. And then he was like, he's going to use that the next time around. So mentorship works both ways, just to let you guys know. So the documentation of my journey, this was basically me posting on social media. I'm writing a book, and I'd be like, book update number 20 something. This is happening. And I actually had a book trailer. If you want to see my book trailer, you can go to michealobenjamin.com/TPOY. I didn't put it on the slides or anything, but you can see how my book trailer is, and you can get someone to create you a book trailer. And I was just thinking, the mindset of it was, we always see these movies hyping themselves up. Trailer number 1, trailer number 2. I was like, why can't books be the same way? Not to say that they don't have them, but I just haven't seen them as often. So documentation of your journey is really, really important. So don't sleep on that. Book launch party. This is very, very important. We're in COVID times now, so it's kind of hard now, but you can do a virtual launch. The way that we're here on Zoom, you can literally do a book launch party that way. So I would encourage you to do a book launch party. In my program, I walk through different roles that you want to have to maximize your sales and make people buy multiple copies. There's a specific strategy that I cover in there. And then speaking engagements. So the whole reason why I published my book, besides the fact I always wanted to publish a book, was because I was just getting into speaking at the time. So as a speaker, I understood that if I had author in front of my name, I would be taken more seriously. Mm-hmm. You can't spell authority without author. It's literally in the word, right? So I understood that once I publish this book and I can call myself an author, I have that authority. More people are going to actually start calling for me. And that was literally what happened. So basically, I was able to leverage my book for speaking engagements. And one way that I've leveraged my book for speaking engagements was me telling the school, I'll speak for free, but you guys buy X amount of books. So let's say I have a box of 50 books. I sell my book for $20. This is aside from Amazon. Well, it's $20 on Amazon as well. But just out of the shelf, when I buy bulk copies, I sell them for $20. 50 times 20, that's $1,000 right there. So it's like I got paid $1,000 for speaking. I told them that I'm gonna speak for free, but I leveraged it for my speaking engagement. So whatever your book is about, understand that you are the expert. Understand that you can't spell authority without author. It's literally in the word. So just walk in that confidence that you can get those speaking engagements, and you'll be taken more seriously. So keep that in mind. I've gotten invited to a book club to do not only a speech for them, but also to discuss my book. So I brought copies, and I also got paid to speak. So it's like I got additional money, from two sources. So speaking engagements are very, very important. Just having a product to be able to sell in the back after you speak. But let me talk about something more relevant, since what I'm talking about is pre-COVID. So during COVID, I was invited to do a virtual speech just like this. We had a lot of people on the call. I think it wasn't too many. It was like maybe 40, 50 or something like that. But more people were going to watch the replay. It was for an organization, my friend's organization. And basically they wanted to cover finances. So she paid me my speaker's fee, and then basically, sent the link for my book to different people. So I saw different purchases from my website as well as Amazon. And I want to just digress real quick about Amazon. So Amazon, I encourage people in my course, I encourage clients, I encourage y'all to look at Amazon as a secondary resource. Don't look at it as your primary resource, because the way Amazon pays you is, first you have to wait 2 months, and then after that it's every month, but you get paid for the previous 2 months. And the way that Amazon is obviously when you're on Amazon, that's not your space. You're basically like renting an apartment when you're on Amazon. So I encourage authors, I encourage y'all to have your website. It could be as simple as a landing page, so you can keep your royalties. Not to say everything's about money, but just understand ownership is very, very important. So that's something that I speak about. All right, so social media, weekly video series. How am I doing on time?
We have 5 minutes left. Yeah, we got to get to questions, but go ahead.
Okay.
That's okay. I'm gonna let you finish because everybody is interested in what you're saying. So don't worry. If we go over, it's all good.
Okay, all right, for sure. I always go over on my webinar.
No,
All right,
no worries.
All right, social media. So social media is the easiest place you can sell stuff. People are always on social media, depending on who your target audience is. If your target audience is millennials, more than likely they're going to be on Instagram. If it's older people than millennials, let's say 40 to 60, Facebook is a great place. LinkedIn, I've gotten people on LinkedIn as well. So just understand social media, and then applying pressure again in terms of a weekly video series. So if you go to my LinkedIn, I started a weekly video series literally a year ago. So today was episode 52. So 52 weeks in a row. Today's my year anniversary of doing that. So basically, I presented myself as an expert because I called it MOB Speaks, and I was speaking about growth mindset topics as well as financial topics. And basically, what would happen is I would sometimes have my book propped up in a video, and I would just talk about different concepts from my book, right? So then people, they would love it, comment sometimes and stuff. And then some people would, go out of their way to message me more about topics I'm speaking about. And then I would talk about my book, like this is covered in here. And then I would result in more sales. So it goes again to, presenting yourself as an expert. So I would recommend starting a weekly video series. You could start it anywhere. You could be on Facebook, it could be Instagram, wherever you want. But the thing is, you want to have the mindset that you want your grind to be annoying, right? You want to be in people's faces so much, because it's going to take a while for people to come along if they're not like your family, close friends, things of that nature. So just understand, you want your grind to be annoying. So email lists. Email lists is very, very important. as you build your email list, definitely don't just always, post about your book, but I would say provide value first. Warm up to your audience. Treat it like it's dating. If you ask a girl on a date, or if a girl was, talking to a guy, they're not just gonna be like, just aggressive like that. You want to warm up, right? You gotta figure out their name, what they like, this, that, and the third. And the way that you can do that is basically by providing them value. So have the mindset to be a go-giver before you're a go-getter in terms of trying to get sales. So I would say build that relationship with your email list. And yeah, merchandise. So this is something I cover in my course. I love to share it here. Basically, you can literally wear your book cover on a shirt, sweater, whatever. On the back, you could tell people where to go and get it. So I've done this a number of times. I've gotten stopped a number of times, and refer people where to get the book. Especially we talk about like the airport, So just understand that you could be a walking market in terms of your book. You can put your book cover, you can put quotes or whatever. If it looks good, if it's a cool picture, people are probably gonna be looking. People may stop you. You never know. All right, guest podcast interviews. So being a guest on a podcast is very, very important because you're literally being presented in front of someone else's audience that may most likely not know you. So that's very, very powerful. You get an hour, 30 minutes, however long your interview is, to pretty much talk about your book and talk about your experiences, right? Just the fact that you're in front of that audience allows you to be able to leverage those sales. So I've been on podcasts, and after they've aired, I've gotten people to reach out to me on social media. Someone bought their book for their daughter because I was, for an example, because I was talking about the fact that my book, The Power of Yet, is told from the perspective of a young Black girl. So he was like, I need my daughter to have this. He said he really enjoyed my conversation. I would have never met that guy if he didn't listen to my podcast interview. So getting guest podcast interviews are very, very important. So I have some coaching sessions with some people that get training on how to actually pitch themselves. So, if that's something you'd want, then, let me know. And I say start a podcast. So this exact slide said, how do I sell my book? I literally just started a podcast, but it's not for the purpose of selling my book. So just understand that point is kind of like a cheating point, an extra point, because I haven't gotten any sales through my podcast. I just started it. And I'm not aiming to sell my book. It's more of providing free value and then client acquisition into my program. If they want to buy my book, they can do that too. And the main ingredients are basically discipline, consistency, and effort. Discipline, consistency, and effort. So you got to stay disciplined, right, in doing all of these things. I see some questions, but I think we're getting to questions at the end, so I think that's when we'll answer them. Be consistent and just apply that effort. Can we go to the next slide, please? All right, so this is my last marketing thing. So this is me on TV, and I cover this in my program. It was basically the way that this happened was a result of me documenting my journey. So what happened was I was documenting my journey not only on LinkedIn, but I was also posting it on my Facebook page. I recommend people to not only have their personal Facebook page, but also have a public Facebook page. I got off an accountability call with a client today, and we were working on her public Facebook page, basically. And I think that's really important because my public Facebook page is literally the page that the news station, NBC in my area, saw. And they saw me posting numerous posts talking about my book cover. They saw my trailer, this, that, and the third. And what happened was I released my book on Juneteenth of last year. If you're not familiar with Juneteenth, it's basically when slavery was abolished in Texas. And it was crazy because years prior with the Emancipation Proclamation, it claimed slavery was abolished, but it wasn't. So it's a monumental date. You can do some more Google research on that. But basically, my book deals with a metaphor for Juneteenth. So they invited me to the station to talk about my book and its relationship to Juneteenth. So one of the things I tell my clients is when you're thinking about when your book is going to be released, think about ways that you can leverage it. I didn't leverage it for the purpose of trying to be on TV. I didn't know that was going to happen, but that's essentially what happened. So keep that in mind. If we can go to the next slide, please. All right, so this is my Facebook community. So I started my Facebook community on June 1st, May 31st to June 1st. And it's a free writing a book support group. Anybody can join. And I encourage everyone to create their own groups. If y'all on the call here want to join my group and just observe everything I'm doing and then go create your own group, I encourage you to do that. My screen is black, you said? Can y'all see me? No?
Something's going on with the lighting. Yeah, we can't barely see you.
Hold on. It's probably because it's dark in here.
Let me read what's happening in the chat. Thank you so much for having me. Anderson Smith had to leave.
Okay.
Kelvin says, go giver versus go getter as a part of dating our potential clients, readers is good stuff. So he's getting value. Stephanie says, does your relationship with God come up in your books? Ooh, good question. She also has many questions. Do you struggle with discipline? What if you don't feel comfortable at the mic or in front of the camera? Is it necessary to learn?
Are we answering at the end or?
Yeah, let's keep rolling. I just wanted to see what was in here. Okay, yeah.
Can you guys see me or no?
Now we can see you. It's still a little dark, but that's okay.
Okay, yeah, it's because it's nighttime or whatever, but yeah.
That's all right.
All right. So basically, like I said, I encourage y'all. If you want to join my group and just observe everything I'm doing to grow your own group, I encourage that. And the reason why I started the whole Facebook community, it was low-key the same reason. Like I was tired of repeating myself. So I was like, let me create a free community. And on top of that, it's like you're having your own house, right? Versus being under someone else's rules. So I was in a lot of different writing groups and I was just understanding whenever I would try to, post stuff, there's rules and things of that nature. So I was just like, okay, I'm in the mindset of when I'm in someone else's group, I'm in their house. Let me go create my own house. So I created my own house. I started out on June 1st. So June 1st to September, whatever it is today, I've gotten a little bit over 400 members. And basically, I like the whole Facebook group because it's a way to build community and give value to people, but it's also a great way, because I have services, it's also a great way to acquire clients as well. And I just think it's cool to have a community where I can answer quick questions for people and people can network with each other. I always encourage people in my group to network with each other, right? So I think that's really, really important. And I named it Writing a Book Support Group Bite with Michael Benjamin. I named it that because putting my name is important, so that's associated with me. And then Bite, which is my course. So I would encourage y'all to use that naming scheme if you create your own group. And I think the main thing you want to remember when you're creating your group is with the question, make sure that you have questions for them to answer as they enter your group. And the main one you want to get is the email address. So that goes back to your email list and building your email list. I've gotten a lot of emails. I would say 50% of the people answer the question, so you might be not getting people to answer, but definitely collect the email addresses. We can go to the next slide. And if people have questions, they can ask me. Oh, yes, on you now.
Okay, I'm gonna go through this really, really quickly because you guys can actually watch this. This will be your homework assignment. So this guy, he makes over $2,000 a month on his Amazon books. He has over 11 books. I think he's at like 13 books on Amazon. When you guys watch this video, he's gonna talk to you about exactly what he does to sell. Because obviously, we want the book, we want it to be a legacy, but we also want to make some money because this is actually another stream of income. So what he does is he uses Amazon as a marketing machine and he pays for Amazon ads. He spends about $20 a month, and he said that he makes his money back like almost immediately because he makes over two grand a month on all his books, and he's got like 13 books. His second secret is create a blog to promote your books consistently. And basically, if you have a website, there might be a piece of that website that constitutes a blog where you can write out articles for people. Again, Michael said, get that email list. If you have a blog or you have a podcast or you have whatever, those people who are on your email list need to know what you're doing. And so that's a good way to promote. And that's what this guy says he does. He has a blog and consistently promotes his books. And then the last thing he talks about is the email list of friends. So you're going to send out personal emails, add 10 new people a month, direct message people, instant message people, and ask for the sale. So there you go, confirmation 3 times. Ask for the sale coming from LT, ask for the sale coming from Michael B. And this guy, John Haig, I think, he said you need to ask for the sale. And that's basically what it is. We're selling all the time and we need to ask. Boom, now we're at the questions. And I'm gonna skip here and I'm gonna actually, anybody who needs to jump off the call, go ahead, good night. Thank you so much for joining us. Those of you that wanna stay and do your elevator speech, continue. Go ahead and put your camera on. This is how to get a hold of me, and Michael's email is goldenonedream@gmail.com. And he's got courses in Teachable. We both do, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I really want to give everybody an opportunity to speak if there's anybody that wants to do an elevator pitch. So I'm still recording, but I'm gonna close my slides and I'm just gonna open us up and we're gonna have a heart-to-heart chat. I love to do this on my webinars because it's not about just having people on, it's about actually hearing people's thoughts. So anybody want to give their elevator speech? I see Stephanie. Yes, it looks like you want to give an elevator speech.
Yes, I would like to try.
Yes.
My name is Stephanie Thomas, and I am the CEO of The Right Coaching, LLC. I don't help people start their books, but what I do is basically make sure that the finished product is ready for publishing so that it does get those sales. And that is what I love to do, and that is what I do.
Yay! All right, next elevator speech. I see you going like this.
No, it's hot over here. Hi, LT and
Hey.
family. This is Kelvin Bell, KB. I am the PK, the preacher's kid, but now I'm calling myself A. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
I'm okay, a prosperous kid, and I have a mission to bring hope into hopeless situation. And my book, Eden Centricity, an inside outside journey, provides the person an opportunity to get to know the great creator in a very real way. And after so doing, you find out who you are, being created in the image and likeness of the creator, that you are all the way good in his sight. And therefore, when you have interactions with others, you will find that everybody else is good and we can get along because we have an Eden-centric mindset. Thank you.
Woo! I love it. Round of applause.
Thank you.
There's some other people out there that have organizations and businesses. Now's your time to promote yourself, y'all. We have about, I'll give you like 30 seconds to step up. And then we're gonna go to the Q&A.
I could say something.
Yes.
Very briefly. I'm still working on my book, so I don't know, I don't want to give an elevator speech about it, but something terrific has happened this week that is in the vein of the things that I've been hearing tonight, because I have finally rested and feel rested in what my mission is as it relates to a book or a podcast or a video or any other writing I pursue. I teach college students public speaking and video editing, and my career is television news. And what I am good at is helping them to reach within and find their message. And when that message comes out, I feel that I'm there to catch it, almost like a baby, to say, this is what you said. Now say it like you mean it. And you produce a video that speaks to the world. That's my mission. And I am the on-camera performance pro. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Anybody else?
Hello, LT. This is Regina. I just wanted to say hello. I never met you, but Kelvin invited me to participate. We serve in ministry together at Cathedral of Praise International Ministries. And I just retired August 1st from 30 years in education. So and during my career, I have started 3 books and they're on the shelf now. So I'm tired right now, but come January, I'm going to get busy with something, but I just got to enjoy this doing nothing right now.
Yes.
I didn't put my camera on because I haven't combed my hair in 3 days, and first impression is a lasting impression. But I love what you're doing. We will talk soon. I'm excited about getting involved with Michael Benjamin as well. He dropped some nuggets on me. I have an earned doctorate degree, and I have some doors opening for me places, but I do need to put that book out there too. Yes. So I'm excited. So I'll get your information from what you just shown. And thank you, Kelvin, for the invite.
Thank you, Regina, for joining us.
You're welcome, Dr. C.
Anybody else? Okay, we got some questions in the chat. Michael, can you see them? The questions in the chat.
Yes, I got like almost 50 messages, so I gotta go all the way back. Where does it start? What time does this? Okay, I see. I am blessed. I said it in the beginning.
I want you to answer the one. Does your relationship with God come up in your book?
Yeah. So I have 1 book out, but I've written multiple books. But I've published 1, and the one I published, The Power of Yet, it's split into 3 different phases. So there is the spiritual phase, there's a mental phase, there's a physical phase. And the different phases follows my framework, if you guys remember: believe, plan, and execute. Believe is the spiritual phase. Belief in not only God, but believing in yourself. So definitely having that relationship with God is covered in the spiritual phase, which is the very first phase in the book. That's why I said in my slide, I'm a God first human. So it's also covered in the book that you got to be God first. I mean, I don't know what everyone believes, but for me personally, you got to be God first before you move on to your mentality, before you move on to your physicality and actually executing. So there's definitely that element of God in my book, and just my whole life. So my whole business, Golden One Dream, G-O-D. So. Oh, and then you want me to read?
Yeah. Do you struggle with discipline? And what if you don't feel comfortable at the mic or in front of the camera? Is it necessary to learn?
Do I struggle with? Okay, I see it now. So Stephanie Mattingly. All right, so Stephanie, do I struggle with discipline? I would say yes, but the thing is, one interesting thing is when I'm financially coaching people, I ask them to rate their discipline on a scale of 1 to 10. And I would say with the general population, I wouldn't be considered to struggle with discipline, but at the end of the day, I'm a human being. And going back to the DISC assessment or flight assessment that I was talking about earlier, I am a high D character. So people that are high Ds tend to be disciplined, driven, like, you know, those D words, determined. So I wouldn't say I struggle with it too much, but I feel like it wouldn't be fair to say I don't struggle with it sometimes, you know. What if you don't feel comfortable at the mic or in front of the camera? Is it necessary to learn? All right, so like I said with my book, it covers fixed mindset versus growth mindset. And one thing I didn't cover, I might talk about on my podcast actually, is that when I was in preschool, there was a huge issue because I moved to a new place, and then as I was in class, I literally wasn't saying anything as the teachers were calling me to speak. So I was like super nervous. I was super scared. They would be like, "Michael, how are you doing?" I would just look at them like they were crazy. "Michael, what do you think about this?" I would just look at them, and I was just like shy. I was scared or whatever. So that's why I decided to write a book of going from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. So if you are someone that doesn't feel comfortable at the mic or in front of the camera, I would definitely say just continue to practice, because you can obviously get over it. I was someone that was literally not talking. And then fast forward, I became the president of a nationally recognized organization. I don't know if you guys are familiar with NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers. So I was the president of my collegiate chapter for 1 year. I was the president of my professionals chapter for 2 years. I just finished my presidency over there. So in college and even professionals, college more so, I had to give speeches in front of like hundreds of people sometimes. So I had to practice on it. I had to get over it. So just understand, don't have that fixed mindset that I'm not comfortable with it. That's it, right? You can literally get over it. And one thing I would say too is just understand that you should play to your own strengths. So if you're not comfortable, like on video, that's different from if you're not comfortable with the just speaking and then there's words on the screen like you're explaining something. So if you're not comfortable in front of the camera, you don't necessarily got to do that. It's not the end of the world. Maybe something that's more powerful for you is just using your voice. If you're not comfortable with your voice, well, if you want to use your voice, podcast is perfect. If you're not comfortable with your voice, write articles or something. So I think that's just understanding that there are different things you can do. But the main thing is having that growth mindset you can get over it, because you should look at me as a testament. Like I was looking at them like they were crazy. And the whole thing was they almost put me in special education classes because they thought something was wrong with me because I wasn't speaking. But I would go home and everything would be good. I'd be chilling, talking to everybody. But once I went back, I was back in character. I would just be looking at everybody, reflective. And then it goes back to that storytelling element. I'll be like, oh, these people are talking. This is going on. Then when they come to me, I'm just mute. Like I'm mute on here or something. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I would say. Is it necessary to learn? I think it's a necessary skill, but I wouldn't say that it's the be all end all. But especially in a space like this where I'm assuming that you guys are not only writing your book, but if you guys are creating courses as well, you're gonna have to be in front of somebody at some point. So I would say definitely practice on people you're comfortable with, practice on family, friends, and then you just gotta throw yourself out there basically, and just remember to have that growth mindset, right? And then continue to consume information that talks about growth mindset or just mindset stuff, right? Because it's like a shift. It's like working out. You don't just work out once and you're where you want to be. You got to continue doing it. That discipline, consistency, and effort. So I would say it's definitely a good skill to develop. I'll leave it at that.
All right, so I'm gonna end with a quote from this book, The Magic of Thinking Big. David Schwartz. This is what I'm reading this week. I try to read something every 2 weeks. So page 20 and 21, there's 3 quotes. The first one says, "Success does not require super intellect." So those people that are super, super smart, that doesn't mean that they're more than anybody else. Then there's another quote that connects to that quote, and it says, those who convert opportunity into reward will be the successful person who has wisdom. So you convert the opportunity into the reward, i.e. Starbucks money, mortgage money. And then the next one says, I am equal to the best, page 21. So just because Oprah is Oprah and Jeff Bezos is Jeff Bezos and the Microsoft person Bill Gates is Bill Gates, so what? They just started before we did, and they just had something that solved a problem for the world, and the world responded and rewarded them with profits. So don't think that just because these people have these big brand names that you can't catch up. You're gonna catch up as long as you're consistent. You keep coming on here, learning information, you keep reading, you keep studying, you keep listening to YouTube. I've been listening to YouTube for 5 years. I have a 5-year degree from the University of YouTube.
Yeah.
On top of my 4 degrees that I earned in schools. But the schools didn't teach me to be successful. This stuff did, and the grace of God. So with that, let's take our photo.
LT, I got that book downstairs with my wife. Yeah.
Deep. All right, let's get in here. See if I can find the button. 1, 2. Is Laverne, you coming on? Or are you gonna know? You say no? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Smile. Boom. And if you check Facebook, I've already posted pictures because I was taking pictures the whole time. All right, y'all. Love
Thanks,
you.
Michael. Appreciate
No
it.
problem, man. Appreciate y'all coming out. You
Thank
could have
you,
been
thank
anywhere, so
you.
I appreciate y'all being here. Oh, P.S. I need to say this too, because
Yes.
I know some people are different. I know I'm on someone else's platform, so I was mindful. If you listen to my podcast, if you hear a couple cuss words here and there, I'm human. I just want to let y'all know that ahead of time. So, but I'm not cussing on someone else's platform, so just colloquial talking. You know what I'm
You
saying?
hey, are you doing a Gary V?
No, I don't. No, he's. No, I don't.
Too much, right?
Nah, yeah.
Ooh, Joyce, did you just get in here? Joyce wrote an ebook. Joyce is gonna do a quick. Joyce,
Hello, can you hear me?
yes, you want to do your elevator speech real quick?
Okay, so let me ask you, am I focusing on my ebook or my paperback?
Both, lady.
Okay, so I'm out in the park, so I don't know if you guys, if you hear disruption, don't worry about it. But I just want to say LT has been awesome and motivating me and helping me to tell my story, which is not always a happy one, but it has been a learning experience for me. And I have, I met her, I think August 1st, I believe, LT. And since then, she has motivated me to write and publish my first ebook, which I'm selling on my website. And also my paperback is over half the way done. My paperback is telling the story of my son and his fiance. They were both brutally murdered 2 years ago by her ex-husband. And so I'm telling the story as my healing process. And the book is riveting. It's my reviewers have described it as they cry, they laugh, they get anxious. They say it has a well of emotions, and that's what I was aiming for. I don't want it to be boring, but I do want it to help somebody that's going through or having a similar experience as my son and his fiance had, and also anyone who's suffering from grief from the process of what happened to them, such as myself. So I'm hoping that my book will inspire people. My ebook is just really a motivational type book to help new entrepreneurs that are trying to kind of stuck and not sure what to do and where to go. That's what I was feeling before I met LT. And I started this self-process of motivating myself. And I kind of use those same steps and put it into an ebook to help inspire other people when you're stuck and you're like, okay, what is my niche? What is my brand? You know, what do I need to do? Where do I go from here? And now I have, I'm in the process of building my first business. So on my way to just being an entrepreneur and an author. So thanks, LT, and I'm enjoying the ride. Awesome.
Good job, Joyce.
Thank you.
Laverne, Joyce is in your cohort. The two of you are buddies.
Yay.
Both of you are Dr. V.
And that B could stand for many things.
Dr. Brooks and Dr. Byers. So you guys are going to meet on Monday if you're both in the same course.
All right.
We'll talk.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Have a good night. See you next Friday.
Thank you.
coming.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'll call you in a minute, Michael.
Okay, sounds good.
Bye, Nicole. Did you love it, Nicole?
Is my mic on?
Yes. Did you love it?
I loved it. Yes. Thank you. So much information. Thanks, guys.
No problem.